Alright, I wanted to give a live review of the final 2020 presidential debate. I was very pleased with the debate. I watched the whole 90 minutes, and like the moderator stated at the end, I thought it was a great set of exchanges. Both candidates got in the talking points that they wanted to focus on, and I believe that the debate drew a sharp distinction between the candidates. I was very pleased with the performance of President Trump, and I believe that the 2-minute format worked well in two ways. One, it allowed the person not speaking 2 minutes to prepare their response or what they wanted to talk about. And one of the major complaints about the first debate was because President Trump continually interrupted Joe Biden, America was not allowed to see whether Joe Biden is fully functioning or is he in a diminished mental capacity. And by giving Joe Biden a full 2 minutes to speak on every topic, it was really to the detriment of the former vice president. Joe Biden came across as weak, feeble, and unable to articulate himself. President Trump came across as presidential. Instead of constantly interrupting Joe Biden, as the weak moderator for the first debate, Chris Wallace, permitted, this time Trump had to restrain himself, and he actually stopped and took notes while Biden was speaking. This is a much better debate all around, but particularly for President Trump. President Trump clinched his re-election tonight, and what I was really surprised by was the moderator. It showed just what a poor job Fox News' Chris Wallace did in the first debate. Chris Wallace spent a lot of his time debating Trump, and what this moderator did was allow the candidates to go back and forth as needed, but she also managed to force them to stick to format. The threat of the mute button appeared to have been simply a case of the moderator gesturing to President Trump, and for the most part, he silenced himself. The only time I noticeably saw President Trump muted was around the 50-minute mark, and it wasn't obtrusive, and whenever the microphone was turned off, the candidate that was being silenced used the opportunity to gather their thoughts. There were a number of debate topics that came up on the debate that may have confused viewers. First of all, this week has competing scandals, and I use that word loosely, as positioned by the news media. This is the only scandal you've heard about this week. It's been commented on by America's late-night talk show hosts, by Hollywood comedians, all over the news media, and opinion columnists all over the place. The story, which is based on New York Times reporting, is that President Donald Trump has a secret bank account in China. The Chinese account is controlled by Trump International Hotels Management, LLC, which the tax records show paid taxes in China while pursuing licensing deals there from 2013 to 2015. Now already you've just been told that the headline reported across the news media and laughed about by late-night comedy hosts was a lie. Their headline was that President Donald Trump has a secret bank account in China. What this says is that this account existed from 2013 to 2015 and was for Trump business ventures in China. President Trump's taxes reveal details about his business dealings in China, including a previously unknown bank account. That is a lie. President Trump does not have a bank account in China. Donald Trump does not have a bank account in China. One of President Trump's companies had this account. Now, what was the account for? Tax records show that Trump International Hotels paid this amount in taxes in China. This continues. He said the company had opened the account after establishing an office in China to explore the potential for hotel deals. No deals, transactions, or other business activity ever materialized, and since 2015, the office has remained inactive. So, where is the scandal? This is the end of the story. It stops here. There is no scandal. China has never paid anything into this account to Donald Trump. This is the source of this week's media narrative, that Trump has a secret bank account. Now, the New York Times hints that there's something wrong going on here. The story is 10 paragraphs and is simply conjured up by the New York Times to offer a counter to the real scandal this week. The real scandal this week is this. Tony Bobulinski was the CEO for a company run by Hunter Biden. He has impeccable credentials. Most importantly, he discovered that the Bidens were using this company to serve as their personal piggy bank. Hunter Biden had to submit portions of his earnings from this Chinese company to the big guy. As Bobulinski describes here, the big guy in these emails is a reference to Joe Biden. This was raised by President Donald Trump during the debate, where Trump asked about the big man in these emails. Trump also referred to the laptop from hell. Now, you may wonder what the president was talking about during the debate. The reason is the mainstream news media has done a total news blackout on Hunter Biden's CEO for his company. The news media has gone into full protection mode for Joe Biden. It's to President Trump's credit that even though topics such as this were not on the agenda for the moderator, he managed to raise these points and to actually get Joe Biden to respond to numerous points that Trump wanted to cover, such as the 2019 promise by candidate Joe Biden to end all fracking. Joe Biden made this promise in fierce competition with his fellow Democrats during the primaries last year. Once he secured the nomination, Joe Biden suddenly realized he needed to back fracking so that he would not lose votes in key energy-producing states. Donald Trump hammered him relentlessly on this tonight. There was also an excellent series of exchanges on things that Joe Biden thought were vital to destroying Donald Trump. Trump deftly handled these charges, including being outright called a racist by Joe Biden. When Biden attempted to make wild accusations that Trump was paying the Russians to shoot American soldiers in Afghanistan, Trump chose not to respond to that at all because it was just so insane. But for other talking points that Joe Biden attempted to push, a lot of them were weirdly points complaining about things that have long been resolved. Joe Biden complained about medical supplies not being available, when that problem was solved back in April, which President Trump pointed out. Whenever Joe Biden attempted to shower random facts into the debate, Trump would raise his hand and politely point out that Joe Biden did not have a command of the facts. The debate served to show a strong difference between the two candidates. As the challenger, Joe Biden had to explain why he did not solve these problems when he had the chance working with President Obama. Joe Biden's track record in Washington, D.C. is one of mediocre performance, just showing up to collect his earnings. President Trump outlined the key areas that he ran on 4 years ago, areas that were neglected or problems that were caused by the Obama-Biden administration. President Trump has worked hard to fix the problems created by Obama-Biden. Joe Biden's message is, vote for me, I'll return things back to the way President Obama had them. That's not really a strong selling point, since the only reason Donald Trump is president today is that he promised to end the policies of Barack Obama and Joe Biden. If those policies were popular with the American public, Hillary Clinton would have won the Electoral College in 2016. So the purpose of this debate was to annihilate President Donald Trump. Instead, Joe Biden showed that he is not ready for the presidency and would indeed be a weak trade partner for our allies, and he would be a weak foe for America's enemies.